y'all, welcome back to my channel. I am back again today. As I'm sitting here shooting this is actually the first Prime Day of 2023. And I'm going to show you a few more of my must-have items. In this case, the key things that I use to create content like this video. So if you are a person that is interested in having a YouTube channel or a blog, or even if you just do things for your leisure or for work or for church that involve creating videos or still photos for different things, I'm just going to show you a few of the things that I use pretty much every time I sit down to create. So let's go ahead and get started. First up, regardless of what kind of content you're creating, you're probably going to need a tripod. I shoot videos for this channel. I shoot still photography for my blog. I have to shoot reels and whatnot for social media. My tripod is really my workhorse, and it's great to have a good stable one to work with. I've been through a lot of them. We have a lot of them around here just because we have multiple cameras and multiple phones for myself, my husband, the church. So I'll just highlight one in this video, and that is the Ubi size 67-inch tripod. I've had this one for a couple of years and it has not let me down yet. So this tripod can be as small as 20.1 inches, which is great for tabletop shooting, or it can be as tall as 67.3 inches, which, as a frame of reference, I'm about 67.3 inches. So that's pretty substantial for a tripod. And the way you achieve that, there's several different pieces of adjustment. I think there are like 4 levers on each leg that you can snap open, and you can pull each one and adjust at will to get it the height you want to. But I also love that you have another adjustment at the top of the legs that is a crank. And the reason I love that so much is because I can operate it with one hand. A lot of tripods will have a knob that you have to turn or pull, or some twist type things. I don't know what to call them right now, but a twist adjustment that you have to pull up and down. I really like having that crank adjustment that's easy to do, easy to stop at each click until you get what you want, and it can be operated with one hand. Then when you get to the actual mount for your device, there are several different adjustments you can make. You can tilt and adjust the mount for different angles, like pointing down or pointing up. You can turn it 360 degrees, and then you can flip up the plate to change the orientation of your device from landscape to portrait, which is really, really great, especially if you shoot with a phone. And then, speaking of that plate, it's a quick release mount. Now, I don't use these as much as is because I use separate quick release plates. But if you want to mount your camera to multiple devices that have that kind of mechanism, the built-in plate is really great for that. The mount also comes with a bubble level, actually a couple of bubble levels, to help you make sure that your camera is straight in the direction that you want it to be. And it comes with a bag, a carrying bag, as well as a remote, which I'm not sure if people still use the remotes that come with tripods, just because our phones and devices are controlled usually on their own. But if you choose to do that, you have a remote, and also it comes with a standard phone mount. Now, you will see a lot of these types of mounts that come with a phone. You can do it this way and mount your phone to it landscape, or turn it this way to mount your phone portrait, and then attach it to the actual tripod either here or here. I don't love these. I keep them around just in case, but I highly recommend, if you get a tripod and you're using a phone, that you invest in one of these. This is a cell phone mount, but you have a knob adjustment that will expand and contract down to the size of your phone, which is much more secure in my opinion than one of these, and also ensures that it'll fit the size of your device. Also, let's say that I'm shooting something landscape and I need to quickly pivot and shoot something portrait. All I have to do is turn this device and then tighten down the knob. You can also tilt it this way forward and tilt it backwards. So you've got several more points of adjustment that don't require you to completely unmount your device and screw it back on. So that's just a tidbit. I will link this one down in the description as well. So overall, I do recommend this Ubi size tripod. Prior to this tripod, I had a different one from Ubi size that I had at least 5 or 6 years. It was one of the less expensive models. It was lighter weight, and after a while certain pieces of it began to break. But again, that was after 6 years of daily to weekly use. So Ubi size is a good brand to trust if you want to look around. Next up is sound. Even if you're not shooting video, you might be doing something that is audio only. And yes, our phones, our computers, our cameras have the capability of recording sound, but for some of our devices, the built-in sound will not necessarily be the quality that we really want. So we gotta have an external microphone. And I have recently downgraded to the Cinco wireless lavalier mic. I was previously using a Sennheiser shotgun microphone. It's a professional level microphone, but I had to have an audio interface and some other things to run that sound in our computer, and I ran into some issues. So I got this particular set. I will disclaim here, or disclose, that I did receive these in exchange for my honest review, but not in exchange for this video. So I'm mentioning this because I actually use it and I enjoy it. So anyway, if you have been researching wireless lavaliers, you've probably seen the Rode Go-To, which is a very popular brand for this type of microphone. And I would just go as far as to say that the Cinco mics are kind of a knockoff. It comes with a receiver and a microphone, as well as a wind muff. Hopefully that didn't mess anything up, but you get a wind muff, or if you prefer a lapel, you can do that option, as well as a couple of different cables to connect to either your camera or your computer. I have my receiver plugged into the computer right now. Obviously, I will insert some footage of what that looks like. And it comes with this case, which is actually a charging case. Very nice feature, and a place in here to keep your accessories. So this particular mic and receiver set, you get the receiver, you get one microphone, or you can buy a set that has two if you need it. There's a 429 foot signal range and 12.5 milliseconds of latency. I've not had an issue with either of those things yet. There is one touch sound noise cancellation on this. I'll try to insert something here, but there is a button where I can cancel the noise. Then there is a button here where I can and unmute myself at will, which is great. Also want to mention that the receiver is plug and play. I did not have to install any software to make that microphone work with my computer. I just needed to go into my settings and tell my device which mic I wanted to use, and voila, I'm using it now. I don't have to do anything to pair the microphone with the receiver, which is great. You don't have to have any knowledge of like radio signals and getting things to sync on the right channel. No, that's built in and the tech is there to do it for you. So lots of great features, relatively inexpensive. I feel like this set is normally around $100, but again, it's Prime Day and they're on sale. I also have to note that they've recently upgraded these microphones. So this is the older iteration right here, but there is a second gen model that has the screen similar to the Rode Go 2, where you can actually see the audio levels, you can see how much battery you have left, etc., etc. So this is also a good investment if you want to improve the quality of your sound without spending $500 or $600 on a condenser mic. This next thing is probably one of my favorite purchases of equipment ever, and that is the newer Softbox set. I bought a Softbox set because I use some iteration of 3-point lighting most of the time, and I wanted to be able to control my light source. I know a lot of people shoot with natural light. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I actually am taking advantage of that today, but we don't have a terrible lot of natural light facing the correct direction in this house. And furthermore, I don't want to be limited to shooting in the daytime. So it's critical that I have a reliable source of light that I can control and move around and do what I need to do. Softboxes in particular, because it's nice diffuse light, and these. You can see a little bit of light still bouncing across the top of my glasses, but not nearly as much as, say, a ring light where you'll see this the entire time. So, fantastic investment. So about these lights, this set comes with 3 lights. You get 2 of the regular stands that have the vertical adjustment, and 1 stand that has a boom arm on it, which is fantastic because I normally use it as my backlight in my lighting setup, and I can push it up pretty high and lean it and tilt it forward as if it's sunlight or ambient. Okay, so you got your 3 stands, and then you have 3 LED heads that are adjustable. I can adjust the temperature, color temperature of each light from 3200 kelvins to 5600 kelvins warm to cool, 100 Kelvin at a time. And then I can control the amount of brightness 1% at a time from, I want to say 10% to 100%. So a lot of variability there, a lot of versatility in the looks that I can get. These heads also come with 3 color plates. You get 3 yellow, 3 red, and 3 blue for more artistic type adjustments. I haven't used those yet, but it's nice to know that I have the option. And then in terms of power, you can power these either by plugging it into a socket, or you can power them with 2 lithium batteries, which is a fantastic option if you need your lights to be more portable, or you're limited in the number of outlets, or you want to take them outside for whatever reason. It's just great to have that option. I will warn you that these lights eat batteries like a son of a gun. So just be mindful, if you choose to go that route, you need to invest in big batteries and lots of them, but that is an option. And last but not least, my favorite function about these lights is a remote control. I can control the color, temperature, as well as the brightness, all from this remote. I can turn these lights on and off from this remote, and I can either control them all together or individually. Each light is on its own channel, and all I have to do is press channel, and whatever adjustment I want to make, or on and off, click it, and voila. And that is so clutch, because most of the time for me, when it comes to like color adjustment, I'm wanting all of my lights to be the same color. So if I'm changing one, I'm changing all 3. And I don't want to run around this office trying to change each individual light, or I may want to back off the brightness all at once. Or shoot, I might just want to power them off and power them on at the same time. So very, very handy function having this remote. I am sure that there is now an upgraded version of these lights, but I also know this version is still sold. I will link both below in the description bar if they both exist, and let you go from there. Sometimes it's a good thing to have the older option available to you, because it'll be the less expensive option available to you. And if you're like me, you're on a budget, you might be new in the game or whatever the case may be, and you don't necessarily need brand spanking new top of the line. You just need something that works. So there, these lights, fantastic. I recommend you go out and get them. Also, for what it's worth, I bought these on Prime Day maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and they typically go on sale every year. They're on sale now at the time of this recording, so just dropping that bug in your ear. And in terms of the brand, Neewer, I've never had a purchase from Neewer that I just did not like. There's one piece of equipment that I regret getting just because I didn't really need it or have what I needed to work with it, but the piece of equipment itself is pristine. So if you are curious and you're looking around at different camera equipment and photography or videography equipment, and you're not sure what to trust, I can recommend Neewer as a brand on a whole. And they stay running sales. They stay running coupons on Amazon. So just letting you know. And if you've gotten this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every minute that you spend with me. And if you want to spend more time with me, be sure to subscribe, like this video, and comment and tell me what you think. So next up, you got your tripod, you got your sound, you got your lights. You need something to actually shoot with. And if you're doing visual content, that's going to be a camera. I am currently, as we speak, shooting video with a Sony A7 DSLR camera that I've really thoroughly enjoyed for the 3 or 4 years that I've had it. Sony has quite a few more models since then, the A2, the A3, the A600, the vlogging series. I think it's ZF that is the vlogging series. But I'm enjoying this camera. It has done everything I need to do for video as well as still photography, because y'all know here and on my blog, product reviews are a big part of what I do, and I need good looking pictures. I am still learning how to use this camera and really maximize the functionality of it. So I am going to turn it over to an award-winning broadcast engineer to explain to us a little bit better how this works and why it could be beneficial.
Hello, Pastor Casper here of the Preceding Word Fellowship Church and preachandplay.com. I'm going to talk to you quickly about why I use the Sony A7 camera. We have 3 Sony A7s. We have this one that my wife used, have the one that's on my face, and I have one above me right now that is showing you the keyboard. When I do my music videos, I need high quality video. I need high quality content. And even if I'm taking photographies, you know what I need? I need high quality videos. And this is the 100% reason why I chose the Sony A7 cameras. Actually, the one above is an A7 II. And I'm probably, once my money gets right, I'm going to go get probably a Sony A9 or one of the new A1s. The reason I believe in Sony so much, yes, they're kind of expensive, but if you need quality, the Sony A7 will give you that. Why? Because it is a full frame camera. A full frame camera is responsible for that little extra bump in quality because it records the full frame. You have full, I believe it's 32 millimeters by 24 millimeter frame. When a crop sensor camera, it's cropped down. And so the Sony, it gives you great low light resolution. It gives you pristine image quality, as you can see. Even doing it like this with my keyboard, you can see it clear. And then feature wise, it has some pretty decent features. I do like the ability to have the Sony remote software. The Sony remote software allows you to remotely make adjustments. So if I wanted to adjust the light on my keyboard, for instance, with one press of my mouse button, I can change. Whoops, I didn't want to go that far, but with one press of the button, I can change my ISO, and that is happening because of the Sony software. That is another great feature. So there's a lot of great features. The one feature that I wish this camera had would be I have a Panasonic Lumix G85 that has a touch screen flip screen. The older A7s that I'm using don't have this feature. So if you're trying to blog and you want a camera like this, something like a Panasonic Lumix G85 would be good, because you can see off of this, but this screen is small, which is why you might want to get a field monitor if you're blogging, or vlogging. But the Sony A7 is my go-to camera for 3 reasons. One, because of the image quality. As a pastor, I didn't want to pay a photographer every time we do something. So I have a camera that doubles at photography and videography. Also, not only do I want the video and the photo quality, this camera's constantly going. I wanted build quality. The Panasonic Lumix G85 doesn't feel like a toy, and it doesn't feel plastic, but this just feels battle proof to me. I don't know what type of hard alloy or whatever material this is, but it feels very sturdy. So the build quality is very good. The full frame sensor and the image quality is good. You have a lot of lenses that you can use for whatever you're trying to go for. And then lastly, it's just a great camera. It's timeless. This camera now is slightly older and I got it used, but it is an absolutely wonderful camera. It has served me great. So for video, for photography, for the build quality, and the overall quality, I highly recommend the Sony A7 camera.
Thanks, Pastor Casper.
You're welcome.
And while we're here, you guys, if you want to know a little bit more about cameras and sound, I'm going to put some recommendations because this guy is definitely the expert that can tell you everything you need to know. And I will put some resources there for you. Or perhaps if you guys want, we will bring him on to talk a little bit more. And I just want to note this here. You've heard me probably say this before on my channel, but if I have any regret about my time so far in my content creator journey, it's not doing what I could with what I had. I started this channel at the same time I started my blog back in 2017, but I stopped recording for many years, in part because I was looking at other people's videos and I wasn't satisfied with the quality I was getting with my equipment, which at the time was my cell phone. I don't know if it was a Crackberry or what, but it wasn't the greatest piece of technology. And I don't know where I would be at this point if I had just stayed the course and continued with what it was I had on hand until I could do better. So I say this to say, I'm using a nicer camera, I'm using external microphones, but if you're not there yet, it's okay. Do what you can with what you have until you can upgrade and do better. And this information will be here for you when you do. Okay? So last but not least, in my must-haves is a field monitor. One thing that people take for granted when they are shooting video is being able to see themselves. So if you're shooting with a cell phone, of course you can flip it this way. Well, you can flip the phone with the front facing camera. That's what I'm trying to say. So that you can see yourself while you're recording. Or if you have a camera with a flip out screen, then you can see yourself that way. It'll be small, but you can. But for me, my camera does not have a screen. So without a field monitor or some other source, then I'm just kind of out of luck and hoping for the best. Now, where I'm sitting now, I can see the footage on my computer, but I still have my field monitor plugged up to my camera so that you're seeing this and not this while I'm talking to you. So I use the Field World 7-inch field monitor. It's a 7-inch LED screen that you can either mount to a surface or you can use a cold shoe adapter to put on the top of your camera to allow you to see what your camera is seeing in a sizable screen. And this is critical for me also because I'm shooting by myself. Sometimes my husband's at work, or most of the time we are recording at the same time. He's recording, I'm recording. and I have to frame myself. I have to focus myself. I have to make sure that I remain in focus so that I'm not getting blurry, which happens from time to time. But having an external monitor is very, very crucial to helping me do some things independently. So this monitor is lightweight, it's portable, it comes with a sunshade. You can do the mount or the hot shoe on top of your camera. You power it either with DC power, you can plug it up, or you can use another one of those lithium batteries, which is what I'm doing now. And it has 1280 by 800 viewing resolution and 16 by 10 aspect ratio for those who want to know that information. Also, I feel like I should mention, if you are using a DSLR camera and you decide to go that way, invest in a dummy battery. Cameras run on their own types of batteries that you can pop in and go about your business, but a dummy battery will allow you to plug up your camera to an outlet and have that constant source of power without worrying about your battery running out, which will happen. So that's a good investment to make. Also, you can record directly to a memory card, but in my case, I'm recording directly to my computer. I can plug this camera up via USB, but the quality will be about the quality of a webcam. It just won't be great, right? Get a USB, an HDMI capture card. That is going to allow you to connect your camera to a computer and get HD quality out of it. And I'm mentioning that because I currently have a splitter, an HDMI splitter. That's another thing I recommend, so that I can run my camera into both my computer and my field monitor, so I can see it recording in OBS, and then I can see myself while it's recording without having to look at the computer. So I will more than likely, just like a few other videos, be doing a part 2 and maybe a part 3 on this, if that's something that you all are interested in. But for now, those are my top 5 must-have pieces of equipment for creating content. So I hope that this video has been helpful to somebody, especially somebody starting out and you don't know what you need or what out there is good to invest in. So yeah, that's that. I will also mention that I will be linking all these items below in the description bar, and I am an Amazon associate, so if you click on one of those links and make any purchase, I might receive a small commission at absolutely no cost, extra cost to you, and it helps me to continue doing what I do. So I really appreciate any of the support, whether it's that or just simply watching or reading my content. You guys are awesome, and I appreciate each and every one of you. YouTube should be recommending something else if you want to hang out a little bit longer. If not, make sure that you're subscribed so you can get all the notifications on the newness. So with that being said, you all continue to do what you love what you do, and try something new. And I will see you all on the next one.